So we have people protesting. They say the government of Uganda tena byekola while Ugandans abroad are suffering.
Yeah, today they put up a show of strike. That is, the activists from Torture Survivors Movement Uganda. They were demonstrating at the Saudi Arabia embassy in Kololo, and they are accusing government of just looking on. They claim that there are many incidents that are being portrayed on social media that are happening, victims coming out to narrate their stories of how they are being tortured by their bosses, sexually, physically, emotionally. They're undergoing that torture.
And even
but they say that the government is not doing much to do that, to settle their matter.
Let me ask. Do we have like an MOU? We have it
with Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Exactly. The Uganda recently came into an MOU with Saudi Arabia, and I think that MOU had to do with torture. It had to do with money. It had to do with all these issues that are affecting.
Tebalina kizindalo.
You're going to protest.
Yes.
Then you carried
Be organized in your protest. Move with the speaker. We've seen messages.
No, but they had
message is always organized. You know the amount of time it takes to barricade your car like that?
Yeah.
And get that speaker.
Hey.
When they remove the speaker, he has another one immediately. Like the guy is prepared. So let them be prepared. However, in Songa I understand we have an MOU.
Yeah.
I understand Abana Bafluma Banja, and then of course we also have ruckus with the companies that are taking kids out. Some of them are fake, some of them are, you know. So Abana Batukene Babona, me, I've had personal stories of Abana Uganda Abadiyo. It is insane.
Yeah. But if you get to realize, I think the government has also played a role somehow, because we have seen some of these companies that lack license, they have been closed off. We've seen also people like these people who traffic. We have had many people caught for trafficking. The issue also is Ugandans, the method in which they go out sometimes also matters. Who do you go through and how do you reach there? Because there are many who have gone through agents, and then you don't have a fallback.
And then we have some that have gone through friends, families,
exactly.
You know, the other day, I was reading somewhere that they called upon everyone that wants to go back home, everyone that didn't have documents, because I think the influx of Ugandans in that country is insane.
Yeah, it is.
Abroad
it is. They do not know where to go for help. They don't know where the embassies are. They do not know anything.
Yeah.
So they end up suffering or struggling around or just having to stay. There's a video I saw of a chick I don't know whether that was a Ugandan woman.
Who did what?
Whose boss was trying to, like he was behind her, and I think she had staged a camera in the kitchen. So this guy comes behind her and first stops her from the back, and she continues doing her work. Then he comes back and he's trying to pull up her cloth and do business, and then she holds him by the neck and then starts shouting and calling the wife to the guy.
Oh God.
And all this was captured live on camera. But that's just a bit of what is happening.
So we shall let you know the police has intervened yet or not yet.
On
the protesters.
Police has to intervene. Yeah, because if a protest is not planned for, if you've not gone to police seeking the public order management order where you have to go and protest legally, then you're doing it illegally.
All right. Away from that, teachers protesting underpayment, in particular science teachers again, or this is different?
This is in Mukono. Yeah, over 200 secondary school teachers in Mukono district. For them, they are saying that they were expecting to start receiving the ACA 4 million this July. But when the salaries came, there were, I think, some anomalies. Some teachers got their ACA 4 million, others got the same amount they were getting, and some were not happy with what they got. So these teachers went to protest at the Mukono Chief Magistrate's office.
It's only in Mukono.
These are Mukono teachers, they're the ones who have come out. I don't know whether it is an anomaly that is cutting across, but we've not seen other teachers come out to talk about it. But these ones are from Mukono. And one of the teachers actually says that for him, his colleagues have received money. He hasn't received money. Then there's also a head teacher for one of the schools. He's called Andrew Nsereko. He's a deputy head teacher, Bishop Secondary School. He says that 3 science teachers at his school were affected. Out of the 200 that have complained, for him, he says 3 were affected in the same way.
Unfortunately, he had promised that the enhancement will be effective from July. It is unfortunate that when the July salaries came up, some of us did not receive that enhancement, and we got the old pay, and we demand an explanation and a correction to that effect with immediate.
We have already registered complaints. Some of our staff complain that they did not get what they expected. Some it is underpayment, others it is just a continuous payment of the previous salary. We have also got complaints of others who were overpaid, but I think this was an anomaly.
This was only in Mukono. It's countrywide.
That is what we need to find out. We were trying to call someone from Ministry of Education, but unfortunately we were unable to get in touch with them. But this is a complaint that has come from Mukono, where over 200 teachers went to the COW's office and they were protesting and saying some of us have not received the money the way it's supposed to be. But since we have seen an overall silence, we could treat it as an anomaly, maybe in the system, or maybe they are not being upgraded on the payroll. I do not understand.
But what we know about teacher bamba funye sente zabo. Abala ne bafuna ntono na yera nga zongeddwako.
Yes.
Let them sit down and drink some water. It shall be worked on. It doesn't call
If you
for...
do nothing, then
it can. It always... A new development in the... You remember the Makerere UCU student that got murdered?
Yeah.
So what new developments do we have?
Now, police is holding 2 suspects. They were masquerading. They were impersonating State House officials, and they were saying they were there at the time that the UCU student died in Makerere University during the guild's campaigns, the final guild campaigns. For them, they say they were part of the incident. So they have been actually working with police. Friend Enanga says that these people were taken to places within the area. They were taken. They moved with them actually to the scene of crime, and these guys were saying we're there, and they tried working with them. Then later they realized these guys do not know anything, and they are a bit unusual in the way they are behaving. So Enanga speaks up about it.
Aaron, alias Echwangu, and Ali Khan. Initially these were masquerading as officials from the anti-corruption unit at State House. They used their fake status to personate officers from this unit, and they were sleeping in hotels in Nsambia, Chikoni, Luwero, Chireka, and they were not paying money and claiming that for us we are from the anti-corruption unit at State House, the money will be paid and so on. Now when this unfortunate incident happened at Makerere, they came out and started peddling information which was false, claiming they were present at Makerere University and they witnessed the murder of the UCU student. When we now asked them to lead us to the scene for documentation where they were standing.
Something fishy is smelling there. It's very fishy.
What is fishy? The police has discovered that these guys were actually pretending to be people from State House.
They didn't ask for identification.
Here people forge these documents. If they can fool the police,
they don't have a database.
then just fear Ugandans.
They don't have a database. Come on, look, listen. If you're identified as a police corporal,
police investigator, detective.
No. Okay, but the normal police guys.
You
police have officer. A number. You have a whatever. So when you bring an ID, we can cross-check.
Using what system?
They have a system. ID just there is no identification that is made without having a database because it has a number. Do you know number? What number? I want to think.
Not all, my dear.
Something fishy. Anyway, out from that, what about Sirikala Bakwat Omugore?
Hey, that is.
Can you imagine on your wedding day, a bride, not even a groom?
Can you imagine? Like these guys waited for her wedding day to come and nab her. In your gown, your relatives, your relatives are there, your husband's relatives are there, and then police officers just stormed the ground and they arrested them. But yesterday we had the incident, and we have a development that the police is charging them with indiscipline offences.
Which person are we talking about? Where was the wedding and
this
why
was in
she
Makerere.
not?
Christine Natuhera was the bride, and these police officers just stormed her wedding. There are about 3 of them. They came to her wedding claiming that she had stolen 8 million shillings while she was working at an institution, a financial institution.
And you might find that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Can you
probably.
imagine?
So they came, picked her up during her wedding, and took her out and arrested her. So shortly after that, they were arrested.
So Pamela, you moved from Galaxy.
Hey.
You work for like another company. 2 years after that,
Yeah.
Abwana, Uncle Tom, or whoever is walking you down the aisle,
Hey.
and then police officers come for a case your husband doesn't even know about. That is embarrassment.
It's
of the
really
highest
bad.
order.
Like,
Check
it
out
must
more
have been
stories.
over the ex of the guy.
know.
You must have said,
By the way, watch out your exes. Sometimes
Hey,
your exes
they-
upgrade.
they'll do crazy
They become
stuff.
like policemen. Join the conversation on our social media platforms. Galaxy FM/TV is the YouTube. Drop your comment right there. That's what's happening in the country. We have what's happening in the world of entertainment still coming up in this hour. But for now, he sounds of Tony Braxton. I hate love. Now, we're going to